We are testing things, seeing if this is going live to Steam, hoping everything works. Today is the day that we LudoNarraCon. If you aren't familiar with what LudoNarraCon is, it is a...
Let me tell you about you. You and your fiance are the last two
some audio stuff. If you aren't familiar with LudoNarraCon, it is a narrative-focused, Steam-exclusive showcase of video games. So for an entire weekend, a bunch of developers making really cool, story-focused games are all coming together, sharing their knowledge, doing talks, panels, streaming their games, streaming their game development, and in general showing off what they can do in a really open and interesting format. The big thing... Okay, we are broadcasting to Steam. Hell yeah. The big thing for an airport for aliens currently run by dogs this weekend is we're part of the showcase. It's an honor. And today we're going to be going through not just the current build, of which has some really exciting stuff to show, but we're going to be showing off the building of a whole new piece of the game. Our airplanes. We've had a certain type of airplane for a very long time, and I'm creating our first cart-like, jumbo-sized, large airplane, and you can come on the journey with me. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Tis the day to LudoNarraCon. I'm Xavier Nelson Jr., the developer and director of an airport for aliens currently run by dogs, working with a fantastic team, and I'm super excited to have you all join me. Let's jump in. Game didn't crash, which is a good sign. This is Beachwell. It is a vaporwave beach planet and a fantastic place to throw people into the deep end of what an airport for aliens currently run by dogs can offer. An airport for aliens currently run by dogs is a first-person open-world comedy adventure game set in a world where the airports are run by dogs. You catch flights in this absurd setting, making sure that you get to them on time, fulfill their requirements, take off, and also chat to weird dogs and go to weird shops and buy weird things and complete quests for the weird dogs, and in the process not only solve their problems but hopefully solve your own. You're one of the last two human beings in the universe. You and your fiance have a really healthy long-term relationship across the stars. You not only get this dynamic of weird, absurd adventures with dogs, decoding an alien language, which is a full English cipher that you can translate and use to find a bunch of really, really stupid jokes. But you can also have this through line of, keeping in touch with the person you love and having something meaningful even though you can't be in the same place. It's a relationship dynamic that I know well. It's one that I'm really excited to represent in a video game. So this dog, we're not going to talk to this dog, because my favorite dog to talk to for this purpose, for getting our ticket, because this is an airport, we got to get our ticket to catch a flight, is this dog, and you're going to see why in a second. Hello! I have short-term memory loss. Do you need a boarding pass to Uranus? Yes, please. Here you go, pal. Enjoy the flight. So I've got this boarding pass with the alien text on it, using information in the world. So there's no direction markers or anything, using just the information in the world, and what I can see, I can find my flight and then figure out what the heck I need to do to get to the next planet, and to do it without, getting arrested by Cop Dog, which is a thing. It isn't in the game yet, but it's coming, and I'm very excited, because I want him to, find you with contraband, and then if he does find you with contraband, I want the stock photo that we're using to switch to a different one, and he's looking at you like this. He says, "You sly dog," and he confiscates all your items and slowly rises into the sky. That speaks to me on a spiritual level. Hello, I have short-term memory loss. Need a boarding pass to Phobos? Yes, and I need 50 of them. So you wish to live dangerously. Here you go, enjoy your flight. So, I've got this note from Krista, my fiance, our mutual fiance, and now I've got all these tickets to Phobos. But, you know, if I just have a deep desire for chaos, this dog has short-term memory loss. It has already forgotten me. We can just do that again. And again. And again. And again. And again. We've had people get thousands of these things and literally just throw them on the ground and make igloos for themselves out of boarding passes. We've had even more terrifying things like them finding a shop full of lamps and then just, I think the record was 400 lamps? There was so many lamps crammed into that space that they had acquired from the dog that they then had to spend the rest of their play session. This was at PAX South where we showed and we got like best of show nominations and stuff. They had to dig themselves out of this sea of lamps. Their entire screen was a wall of light. And the rest of their session was just literally like digging themselves out of this wall of lamps and escaping the hole they had gotten themselves into. It's an open-ended comedy adventure game, which comes with a lot of pain. It turns out developing an open world game with a whole lot of player freedom can be difficult. But gosh, is it enjoyable to do. We've got now just dozens and dozens of boarding passes. Time has passed. Let's scroll through our inventory. Okay, so there's a flight taking off at 2:36 at B3. Let's find where B3 is. Should we take an elevator? Elevators look fancy. That's a new thing, by the way. But maybe we should just dive in. And here we go. And we're in the water. Great. Fantastic. Let's talk to this handsome pup. Just once, says the Badakshian, I want someone to acknowledge the debt archery owes to the noble arch for its popularity today. Wise words. So, B3, there's a sign down here. The time is 2:16. We have until 2:36 because the aliens use Arabic numerals, which is rad for us. And going from this, if I go that way, I'll reach gates A6 through A7, B1 through B2, then B4, so that's not it. This is gates A4, B5 through B8. That isn't the direction to go. This is a whole other jumble of words entirely, pointing to another direction in the airport. If I could read that and I wasn't tired, I could totally use that for cool information and shenanigans. But I am tired and I can't read that. So I guess that leaves us with one direction. And we use that organic information to head to the next piece of the airport. If you're wondering where this rad music comes from, it is from our musician, RJ Lake. We have an original soundtrack for the game that's already in, like just a whole bunch of tracks already made, and every single one of them is a bop. I look for them on Spotify because, again, I'm deeply tired, and I forget, oh, the game isn't finished yet, so of course this soundtrack isn't on Spotify. This is a very handsome boy for an ATM, and because this is an airport for aliens currently run by dogs, you can pet any dog at any time with an infinite number of hands. So, this dog looks like he's had a rough time. We can just pet him. And we can pet him again. Or I can just, hammer the P button, and this happens. Was that a series of screams from hell? Yes. Does it also just make me absurdly happy? Absolutely. Gonna get on a big old jumbo jet operated by an artificial brain, says pedestrian. Hey up. I wrote the joke, but it's a good joke. I'm gonna laugh at it. Let's talk to this big-faced boy. I've got a cousin who believes he's invented time travel. I worry about him. That is a worrying circumstance. But, you know, on this ATM is a dog. So can you pet the dog? Can you pet every dog? Of course it is. Because we aren't hacks. Fantastic. Let's dispense some money, because I imagine that'll be a bit useful. We're just going to dispense a lot of money. And we can do that. Get some dollar bills. Because dogs don't care about money, like at all. They're dogs. They just give you stuff because it makes them happy and it makes you happy. Dogs are rad like that. Despite having Hydra in the name, says the pedestrian, if you use a fire hydrant, you will not be attacked by a mythical monster that exponentially regenerates. I spent 2 years not potty training for this. Going off of my boarding pass. I have one. Okay, you know what? We can just throw some off the side of the world. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. That was all my... Oh, okay. That was not all my boarding passes. So let's just throw a couple more. Yeah. A1, A3, A5, A8, B3. And if I can read this, I guess I can get the true name of Beachwell. But I know it's Beachwell, so... If anything, I now have a key that gives me a bit of the language, and I can use that to translate the rest of the game. I was going to say including this shop, but this shop is closed down. See, an airport for aliens currently run by dogs, a lot of it is based from my real experiences, my real, just like, weird interests. The reason why you can talk to a dog who just talks about archery and arches is because one night right before a showcase at PAX South, I got really into the concept of frosted tips, like NSYNC, Guy Fieri frosted tips, and arches, like just arches. And when I checked the game in the morning, I had added a bunch of lines about arches and about archery and about frosted tips in the game, but it didn't tell me all the places where that occurred. So I just kind of go through every build hoping I don't meet some incredibly absurd written at 3 a.m. dog who talks about frosted tips in a way that isn't both delightful and relatable. But, you know, coming into this world, I also, speaking of personal experiences, at my local airport, my Quiznos was recently replaced with a Schlotsky Cinnabon. Now, these words might be nonsense to you because they absolutely are. But having the experience of, I was supposed to go on a really long trip. I was coming to the airport very early in the morning, and I was like, I just want a Quiznos. I just want a decent toasted sandwich to put in my mouth. And it wasn't there. Instead, this Schlotsky Cinnabon wearing its face had taken its place, and I spent a good 15 minutes roaming the airport in a daze because it was very early in the morning. I was groggy, looking for where my Quiznos had gone because it had been transformed into a Schlotsky Cinnabon. And an airport for aliens currently run by dogs, every time you leave an airport, every time you come to an airport, the stores within it change. These worlds are dynamic. Every playthrough is different, partially because every time you just travel, the airports are different. They're always evolving. Stores close down, stores open up, new dogs appear, old dogs go to different locations, especially if you've moved on their story. The world itself is moving with you and around you, while still being a comforting place that you can get a familiarity with, because, like, I know the types of stores that can appear here because I've spent so much time traveling through these alien airports. And that's exciting as heck to me. But speaking of things that are exciting as heck, I really need to, find my flight. I I wish there was a clock in view. I think I placed one around here. Yes, I did. 222, 223. It's a good thing that I did not hold on to the boarding pass for 220, whatever. Instead, I've just got all this money that I can just throw at dogs. Speaking of money, throwing money at dogs, here's Bribe Dog. This is B3. Let's chat to him. Hey, friend. You can see my name. I can see my name. You feel this connection? You see what's happening here? I'm Bribe Dog. If you want to board the plane, you gotta bribe me. And I want something meaty. How did you even learn about bribery? I don't know what bribes mean, he says, not suspiciously. All I know is, when I say the word bribe and tell people to give me stuff, they give me stuff. And I do the job I was supposed to anyway. And sometimes I have to go on the run for 6 months. But that's just how it works, right? I'm Bribe Dog. He wants something meaty. Did you get the meaty thing I asked for? Not yet. Well, I can't tell you where to go or what to do. I just want things that you have to give me anyway. I'm Bribe Dog, baby. I've had bosses like that. Let's first hand in our boarding pass so at least something is done. Your pilot is drunk and ready for takeoff. Hand me your boarding pass and we'll get going. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Here's my boarding pass. Thank you for trusting your drunk pilot. They appreciate your kindness. Their one job is to bear witness and you are helping. That's terrifying. But this Bribe Dog doesn't want money. All that is useless. I don't need that boarding pass, so I can just throw that off the side of the world. Or I can gently toss it. I added a gently toss button because we've got this thing called a yeet modifier on every object in the game. When you throw it, it adds a bit of torque, a little bit of rotation to it. So you can throw a bunch of things and it makes really nice arcs and rotations and so on. It feels good to throw things in this game. But when I heard that someone had made a boarding pass igloo in the work in progress version of the game, because I've been putting out every time there's an update to the game, I put it out via Patreon. I was like, crap, I gotta acknowledge that in the world. So off in the distance over there, there's a dog that just has a mop bucket. And that's Janitor Dog. And if you talk to him, he'll mention, the things that people do to dirty up airports. And one of the things he'll mention is boarding pass igloos. And that isn't something I made up, as funny a phrase as that is. It's something that a player actually did in the world. So I folded the experiences of these early access work in progress players into the game. And in the next update, I added a gentle toss button. So it's really easy to just lay things down gently without yeet modifier and create structures out of boarding passes and so on. And maybe there's systemic ways you can use that elsewhere in the game, or it will only be used for boarding pass igloos, or you'll never use it at all. But because the game is so open-ended, that's all fine. It's cool. What is the time? 2:26. We have 10 minutes to take our flight. This is an information kiosk. I know this because information... Nope, that isn't the word for kiosk. That's a different word. I cannot read my own words in this game, but I know that the fantastic joke on this placard for Information Dog is that it just says no. No, actually. We can talk to Information Dog, but what we need is something meaty. And getting there... it's gonna take time because airports are big. Now I know he needs something meaty, and I know there's a few places I can get that. I could find a meat shop because, of course, dogs have one because they're dogs. They'd have sources of meat. That, or because I've been spending enough time in this world, and also I made the game. I know that I can get meat from a vending machine, because of course dogs would have vending machines that dispense meat. So here we have Real Good Puppa. You can pet that dog, because we aren't hacks. And if I dispense it enough, I will... There's bottles of water. Like, come on, give me some meat. There we are. Squeaky salami. There's also things like soda and scarlet bovine, which is, you know, a picture of a Red Bull on a can. That refers to nothing in real life. Artisanal toilet water. I can throw that in the garbage can. It incinerates it forever. I don't want to incinerate my one thing of meat, though, so I'm just going to run to the other part of the airport and look for any people movers I can find along the way to help us get there. People movers move at a set rate. Again, becoming familiar with the world, elevators also move at a set rate. That elevator is a slow elevator, and you can tell because that elevator is much faster over there. And getting to know this world, getting to know the people movers, the rate at which they move, the rate at which you move, essentially having the familiarity to run across an airport to catch your flight because you become a traveler. It's really exciting to bring that to life in a game. It's 2:36. We have 8 minutes to take our flight, so I think I'll show a new feature that we're getting into the game now, actually. There's the pile of money we made earlier. You'll notice that the game is staying at a stable frame rate. That shocks me. We have so much physics shenanigans and just weird stuff happening in this game. The fact that we can have a stable frame rate is a blessing, and I'm just checking the Steam log actually to make sure that that is actually what's happening, and that outside of my screen it isn't a torn, messy nightmare. It doesn't seem to be. Fantastic. Not a liar. We have a stable frame rate, despite all the shenanigans we do, despite the permanence in the world. I love that. I love making, like, I was a narrative director on this stuff for years. Narrative director, narrative lead, writer. I've shipped over over a dozen games easily in the past 2-3 years, which is the length of one ordinary game's development cycle. And I started making this during that time. So being able to go from being a writer or someone who works in documentation to like actually building the airport, choosing the colors of various pieces of that airport, choosing the characters and writing them and bringing a world to life off of systems, again, working with a fantastic team, some of which are listed here, means a lot to me. I'm not going to restart the game because we've come too far to give up our easy win. However, I will chat to this beautiful dog. I want frosted tips, man. I'm tired of being a dog and not having frosted tips. That's one of those frosted tip lines I told you about. You will find them throughout the game because I don't know where they are. And it was very late when I wrote them. So, we've got something meaty now. You know what, let's just throw out a bunch of these. If I throw out my meat by accident, I'm going to be furious. That was a really nice spin on that last boarding pass. How many boarding passes do I have? Okay. I can't use... Basically, I was going to show you a really cool thing where if you drink Scarlet Bovine in this early version of the game, it advances time because we want you to be able to wait in real time for flights or, you know, advance time and do, again, cool manipulation of the world and of your own route to navigate it effectively. But if I skip to 2:36, we will miss our flight. And I don't want to miss our flight. So, Squeaky Salami, Bribe Dog. Hey, did you get the meaty thing I asked for? Is this the meaty thing you wanted? Apparently yes, we've got a check mark. It is a beautiful day and I'm proud to know you. Remember, bribes are good for everyone. I'm Bribe Dog, baby. And we get to go through this portal into our plane. And now, I'm sitting next to a surgeon. What an honor. I'm on one of the several airplanes in the game, and I've got this starscape outside beyond me. The reason I'm geeking out about this, the fact that you can fly to different planets, even though that's like what you're supposed to do in the game, is so much time went into making this, creating even the speed lines and all of the things that make up this plane vignette to be what it is. The original plan for the game was You'll be on a plane, talking to you'll be in an airport, having adventures, chatting to dogs, catching your flight, and then you'll be on your flight, on your way to a new world, and you'll have a little conversation with the dog next to you. Then you'll end up on that next airport, and you'll do the same thing, have adventures, talk to weird dogs, and it ends up creating this really nice narrative structure of highs and lows and periods of calm and rest, like this setting. Every airport has a different, every airport, but also every airplane has like a different vibe. This soundtrack is different from the airport than the soundtrack for the plane that has like a burnt sienna color scheme and so on. Just some really rad details that went into this setting, and I haven't played the game properly in a while because I've been focused on fixing it or making more of it, and it's just lovely to see this working. Just working without breaking on me. It does my heart good. I'm really happy. Let's chat to this surgeon dog, see what surgeon dog has to say. What you up to? Says surgeon dog. Going to meet my fiance, helping a dog with something, or just traveling. I'd say just traveling. It's nice to not have a purpose for a little, or a lot of purposes at once. College felt like that for me. You lose yourself in the spaces in between. I did a lot of traveling then. What'd you study? Astrophysics. Medical school came later. I tried to get a minor in cool surgery, but that just turned out to be a fancy cooking class for Dobermans. I operate on the hearts of sons. Isn't that complicated? It's 11! You completed your flight, landed airport. So this dog has a living, and now we're on a different planet entirely. There's a giant fire hydrant in the sky. We're surrounded by air control towers, and just entirely different vibe. A little bit of a sleepy vibe, which isn't good for me because I'm a little bit sleepy. And time's advanced, and we've got all these different flights. As you can see, compared to the airport where you used to be at, like, there's only 2 ticket dogs. There's only 2 destinations out of here. This is a tiny regional airport, not a big thing. In fact, we can talk to an information dog and learn more about this. Interesting. So, at the bottom, of course, there's the traditional directions, most of which I can't read. And also, I know this is a symbol for hospital, because hospitals is where you can save your game in the game. You can also, so you can save your game at hospitals or when you have travel between airports. So you have an autosave and then you have a manual save when you go to hospitals. So this very unhelpfully says, hey, this general direction, there might be a hospital maybe. And much like a real airport sign, it's useful, except not. I dig that. None of these boarding passes mean anything anymore, so I'm just gonna throw them. Nope, didn't want to throw away my soda can. That was bad. You know what? Let's make sure these get out of the world. This is technically littering, but as long as we don't question it, we should be fine. So, how many of these did I pick up? Dear Lord. Okay, so we've got an empty inventory, a clean slate. We're on a new planet. Let's see what there is to see. A long time ago, a brave soul said, "What if blonde, but only a little?" Thus were frosted tips born. Son, you were part of a glorious civilization. Don't you ever forget it. In this world, you know, humans are basically gone. So, of course, we used to be part of a glorious civilization. Dogs run everything now. Objectively, it's a better world, but it's a little bit sad too. Listen, we don't have to smell each other's butts. We can just walk away, says the Pedestrian. That's a valid point. So if I look at this flight board. This dog does have tickets to Beachwell, so I can get back to where I'm going in the universe. There's another dog with tickets to the Marinara Trench. Don't need to go there, and the airport isn't built yet. But, yeah, this is just a tiny regional airport compared to where we came from. And we can learn more about it by finding an information dog and pursuing that course of action. Gosh, even though this is a smaller airport, it is massive and when you're just walking it. This is a good time to show off our progress on the time system, though, because we don't really need to catch a flight right now. We're just chilling. Ooh. Coming from the fire hydrant is this green light that just sweeps over the airport at a set time, and it's nice to get caught up in one of those moments where it's just going through the world. You exist as a part of it. So when I press right click, it's very anticlimactic right now because we don't have an animation for it, but boom, boom. And see, there used to be a lot of flights for like 248 and so on, and now they aren't there. See, they switched over to something else. Now they're for like 316 and stuff. Let's advance town a lot. Let's just drink a lot of this Scarlet Bovine. Just a very Metal Gear Solid 5. Whoa, hey! And we look around. Most of the flights are for the Marinara Trench now. I've made a horrible mistake, but they're timed out pretty decently from where we are now, so we have a lot of time to get to our next flight. That was a kind of wimpy throw. I'm not digging that throw. It wasn't my best work. Artisanal toilet water, soda. Just throw these off the side of the world. They eventually, you know, they eventually get rid of themselves. That's why we litter. Let's talk to this information dog. I'm so sorry I missed my first shift. It's always night here, so it's hard to judge time, and also I'm never not tired. We are on a moon! So yeah, welcome to Phobos Regional Airport. I'm Claudio. My job is to tell you useful information. If I know anything useful, which is not guaranteed, how can I help? What's with the fire hydrant? We're pretty far from the core of dog-occupied galaxies. Dog. So it's a symbol of home. No matter where you go, there is always an exciting and majestic place to piss. I don't remember writing this line. Claudio, much like many of the dogs in the game actually, was written very late at night. And I was very tired. And I think I wrote something that I intended to be very poignant. And this is poignant, but also, no matter where you go, there is always an exciting and majestic place to piss is not the lesson I want people to get from this game as a whole. This is a small regional airport, so let's ask about expansions. It's a regional airport at the edge of the galaxy. It isn't going to grow much. There is a dog with more ambitious plans, but I'm not sure where she is these days. She might be trying to do that in a few airports, actually. I am hinting at airport expansions, because I already did that for Beachwell, which is where we just were. There is a piece of the airport which is just a big old shopping complex, and that was added on after it first came in, talking about weaving in the development process with the history of the world. Claudio wasn't in the first version of Phobos I released. Phobos came in at the end of last month, so in the past week or so, I finally added it in Claudio, and I would be like, well, he technically missed his first shift, the opening of the airport. So this would be really, we could fold that into his backstory, make that define him. Make him be defined by being a dog who arrives places late and regrets things. And that's something I made him suffer, and I feel bad about that. How do I find the gate for my flight? There are gates at the midpoint and end of every central route from the terminal. That's fancy talk for walk in a direction so you get angry at whoever built this place, and if it isn't the right one, try again. If you look out for the green signs and compare them with your boarding pass, that should also help out a ton. Wise words. Where can I do some shopping? You can shop literally everywhere. There's so much shopping, man. Like, there are ATMs that literally just give you money lining the walls. If there was a way to do less shopping, I would actively seek it out to save myself. Donate helps us out. I think that's good. Have a fantastic eternal night. Let me know if you need anything else. Thank you, Claudio. Gosh, I love Claudio. So yeah, we can see some of these places. This is a little coffee bar. Here's a dog who runs it. I love Barista Dog. He's lovely. This is a toilet paper and banana store. You can ask why I combined those two things. I will tell you, the answer isn't particularly intelligent. Fancy signs are something, these used to be blocks, but now they're fancy blocks with roundedness and like color gradations and so on. This is a trendy little clothes spot. Dig this. Let's see, this is a cabinet store. A store that sells cabinets, or rather where the owner is obsessed with cabinets. Ooh, we're getting some blue coloring from outside. Just illuminated that one wall. That's rad. I really like that effect. That's rad. I haven't played through the game just with that thing going around. That's rad. It was a suggestion from a... excuse me. Actually, someone on the team of the game isn't listed here. Have to list him. The dude who's made our trailers to date, Gary Kings. He was like, you know what you should have? You should have this light that circles the airport coming from the fire hydrant. I took some time, I put it in, and I was like, oh, that's actually looks really cool. And now this is a piece of the world. Let's see. So we've got all these stores, we've got all this shopping that we can do. It's $5.19 in terms of the game world. Let's see. And if any of you all have questions, well, this won't apply later when the stream is looped, but it is live now, so feel free to ping me. I will be checking occasionally when I'm not being enchanted by dogs, which isn't often, I will tell you that. Phone booth. We can call people using that phone booth because it's a systemic part of the world. This is a place that sells briefcases, which is technically another type of container. And here's a bathroom. Illuminated by that light. I just love that lighting effect. I'm sorry. It's got a garbage can. You can pet the garbage can. And that was because I realized that once you break one rule, you can break all of the rules. And you never have to follow a rule again. So I was like, you know what? Garbage cans, you can pet them now. And because in the game, technically, every thing that you can pet is marked as a dog, the garbage can barks a hello. Just a, yeah, I sure do love getting a pet. I'm not going to explain this game. I just love it. This has some ominous text written over it. And we can see this is a gender-neutral bathroom because dogs don't really use urinals. I think this is the cow. I think in the alien language, if you translate it or interpret it, I'm not sure what would be the technical thing for searching around a cipher. Breaking it? If you code break it, written in alien text is the coward's urinal. Dogs don't use urinals. They drink out of toilets. So they just got this fire hydrants, and you pee on them. And someone asked me, hey, shouldn't there be a drain in the floor? And I said nothing. Because I can't answer that question, and I don't want to. I'm going to pretend that when dogs pee in this world, it doesn't just end up covering the floor in liquid. And that is the last time I'm going to talk about dog urination in this stream. I hope. Let's see. Don't know what's written here, but this is a nice little bartender dog, where you can get artisanal toilet water from these taps. It's on tap. Love it. This is one of my favorite shops. I know exactly what these words say. This is Cryptid Karaoke. I walk in here, suddenly, this is a Mothman-themed record shop. This dog will tell me his secrets. He'll get freaked out. He will also sing over 20 Mothman-themed song parodies that I wrote. because that was a good use of my time, it seemed at the time. Here's a bunch of really good jokes in an alien language that I can't read right now. Like, I have printed up, I took these to PAX South. People went bananas for them. We almost ran out on the first day. I printed out actual boarding passes for this game with, like, the alien text on them and stuff. Let it never be said that we don't go hard. And in the distance is a new piece of the game. First piece of the game of this kind. A cat. There's cats in this world. But he's definitely a dog. And he's going to insist on that. And we're going to not question it. Because if we do, this cat looks like it could scratch us, or rat us out, or otherwise harm us. That's a gigantic freaking cat. So, we're just going to play cool. See what this definitely a dog wants. I'm sorry if this is an insensitive question, but are you a cat, we say, ignoring everything I said about playing cool? Nope. But you're definitely a cat, though. Nah, probably not. Probably not. Let's say I play along. Why would it matter if I'm a cat? Oh, I'm just surrounded by dogs. It's nice to see a cat for once. Listen, if there's one thing I know about dogs, it's that they love bones. And by they, I mean me. I am a dog, after all. So, give me an illegal bone. I'll gnaw on it, and you'll see I'm doing the whole dog thing, which I'm very familiar with, being a dog. I don't have one right now. Or I could just say I'm not interested. Let's say I'm not interested. See, that's a problem. Don't like that. Don't like how the conversation turned. Now you know that I, a dog, want illegal bones, you could cause some trouble for me. You're not going to cause trouble for me. In fact, if you tell anyone we had this conversation, or that you suspect I'm a feline figure, I will bark at you, and my friends will bite. Snitches get scritches. I really like my game. I like it a lot. Yes, ma'am. I understand. So now we gotta get... That's a quest. We gotta get her an illegal bone. Nothing's gonna point us to where an illegal bone is in the world. Based off of your discovery and knowledge of it, you just know where to acquire illegal bones. But I know where to get an illegal bone. Back on Beachwell, there's a character who, if we help him out, he'll give us just some illegal stuff. He'll also explain why the stuff is illegal, which I can use to get out of any accusations the ESRB may have about, like, drug references or whatever. It's just bones, man. It's just illegal bones. That's it. And also the dogs get drunk because they have to deal with flying through a cosmic landscape, but that's not my fault. Let's see. Where is the... Okay, so that's the ATM. What we want is to get a flight back to Beachwell. And at this point, all the flights are so close. Like 5:40, we'd have to really rush to get that flight to Beachwell for C3. I think, yeah, that looks like a C. I think that's the C symbol. Let's just say that's C, C3, 5:40. We have 13 minutes. We should be able to catch a flight back. Yes, please. There's only one place that this flight can bring us to, but we're always, because throwing is a thing you can do in this game. You got verbs that you can use. We want to make sure we have more than one ticket. So, I don't know why I picked up a soda. Why did I pick up soda? I have a flight to catch. Is this even the right direction for this flight? A1, gate A1 and C2. Does that mean C3 will be in that direction? In hindsight, I hate the signs that I have created for this game. Okay. Gate A1, B1, C1, C3. Yep. I was right to suspect that I was misleading myself. And I'm gonna run and find my flight. Let's hop on a people mover going in the right direction. Just speed up a little bit. That is B1 over there, I believe. Yep. That's a photo store where you can get, like, pictures taken. Also, get a passport. And meet Photo Dog, who has a picture of himself right behind himself. The reason why these are real historical photos from history up on the wall is because I wanted to suggest that Photo Dog is immortal and took those pictures himself. I like the idea of an eccentric immortal dog who just takes pictures of people throughout history until the people. That suggests that Photo Dog was there when all the people went away or died or whatever happened to humans and aliens in this universe. He's seen the death of civilizations. That's really metal. I never considered that. Huh. Okay. Teef Mango, you may have already said this, but how did you arrive at this premise for a game, and were you at all inspired by any of those Adult Swim cartoons that would only air at 3 in the morning? Actually, yes, to both. Well, yes doesn't really answer how I came to this idea. The reason I came to this idea is because I've been in enough airports to break my brain. Yeah! There it is. There's our gate. Here's our boarding pass. I was supposed to make a game about... So, first I was approached by... I will elaborate on the story as soon as we catch the flight. But it's a cool story. As to how I was inspired, and I can say, yes, I was inspired by those Adult Swim cartoons in a very interesting way. We know what's happening here, says Bribe Dog. We know what's up. We know that real business. I'm Bribe Dog, baby. If you like what you're seeing, by the by, wishlist it on Steam. It really helps us in terms of the algorithms and everything else. Steam says, hey, you've got a bunch of wish lists. We're gonna show your game page to more people, and that helps me out a ton. So if you do that, or if you've already done it, thank you very much. I need something to hold all my bribes. A container of some kind, a wardrobe or bin or cabinet or something. You look familiar. We met another Bribe Dog before. Oh, you must be talking about my cousin, Bribe Dog. How's he doing these days? He's taking bribes. Oh man, good for him. He's a Bribe Dog. He sure is. I dislike how popular Bribe Dog is as a character. People love Bribe Dog. Yeah, we've got time to catch this flight. We've got 9 minutes. Because he's just really enthusiastic about government corruption. And every time I talk to people, they're like, oh man, I love Bribe Dog. What's Bribe Dog gonna be? Are we gonna have like a trial of Bribe Dog? Do I get to argue for Bribe Dog's innocence? I'm like, no! He is doing crimes. He is openly doing crimes. He's not ashamed of it. Like, he's telling you he's doing crimes. He's doing crimes next to another dog who doesn't report his crimes. We are all complicit in Bribe Dog's existence. We aren't letting Bribe Dog off the hook. He will be punished. He should be punished, even though he's adorable. I'm gonna cut to the chase, says Cabinet Dog. I bought a lot of cabinets, and by a lot, I mean every single cabinet I could find. For years I have done this. I'm a mariner, drowning in a sea of cabinets, and I have created this ocean because I am Poseidon. And I don't know what this metaphor means anymore, but I'm still talking. Suffice to say, I have so many cabinets. Please save me from my cabinets. Buy a cabinet, buy several cabinets. Buy a cabinet. Why cabinets? Why look at a sunset? It's just beautiful. But do you need to look at all the sunsets? That is a very good point. But I really, really like cabinets. Let's take one of those cabinets off his hands, because Bribe Dog needs it. to hold as bribes anyway. I would take more, but I'm sorry. I don't know if I can save you. We're both doing the best that we can, and that's all that we can do. Thank you. Now take the cabinet before I'm tempted to get a new one, says Cabinet Dog. So this is a genuine cabinet. We only have one, so we should be very careful about throwing it into the depths of Phobos, which is a moon of Mars. I learned that after I started building the airport, because turns out I don't only not care about geography on Earth. I sure don't know anything about space either. I'm making a game about space and about airports. Airports I do know about. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, did you give me a container for my bribes? Yeah. Aw, thanks, friend. And I didn't even have to ask. That's a lie, bribe dog, and we both know it. Anywho, we enter a portal to the next world, to our intended airport, Beachwell. I've got Speed Dog next to me, but this is a good time to talk about being inspired by 3 a.m. cartoons. Everybody loves Bribe Dog, says TV. Wait, how do you air travel as much as you do and not know geography? There's a map to stare at on every plane while you wait to not be in the sky. See, you would think I would look at that map at some point and say, you know what? That's Greenland. However, I don't know the difference between Greenland and Iceland, and at this point I'm afraid to ask. Teef Mango also asked, was your decision to use stock images of pets rather than animating them a result of your original vision of the game? Yes, and this is where I talk about how I arrived at this premise. Originally, we're gonna look out the window, because that's a nice old view. Originally, having had my brain broken by airports, because airports are these artificial ecosystems, self-contained stores and ways to exist that are both made by humans and inherently hostile to humans. Like, there's no good airport. There's not a single good airport. But all airports are both good and bad. They're in a quantum state while you observe them. They're weird. They're weird places. There's suspicions that some airports are like fronts for like devilish cults and conspiracy theories, like the Denver International Airport. I can't speak to that. I know nothing about that. Which is actually what I would say if I was part of the conspiracy, but I'm not. The point is, airports, I've spent a lot of time in them. I've accidentally circumnavigated the globe. They've broken my brain in the process. So I wanted to make a game called Airport for Aliens, where you would explore these alien environments, be surrounded by aliens you couldn't really talk to, and you had to decode their language and like find out how to navigate this as a traveler in a strange land. I've wanted to make this game for years, and New York University has a games program called NYU Game Center, and they reached out to me and said, hey, every year we do this event called No Quarter, which is, No Quarter is the event where, like, Nidhogg, the super famous, successful local multiplayer dueling game was unveiled. They said, hey, every year we do this thing called No Quarter, where we get 4 developers who are doing exciting work in games, and we give them some money to just make whatever they want. Just make whatever. And I heard that, and I said, as someone who was deeply burnt out and tired at the time already, yes, because you don't say no when that opportunity to just get, not a whole lot of money, but some money to make whatever you want, when that knocks on your door, of course you take it. And you make something weird and cool. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make an airport for aliens. And coincidentally at that time, I ended up finding this guy. I was connected by a mutual acquaintance. I ended up meeting this guy called Tom Vanita, who is the senior game designer on Kerbal Space Program. And I was like, hey, I've been making games for years, but I've never worked in engine with my own hands, like in Unity or Unreal or something. Could you teach me Unity? And he's like, yeah. So he started teaching me Unity. He's now, as you can see by the credits, the lead programmer and designer of the game. He gives me the tools that allow me to make this absurd world happen, and I'm deeply appreciative of his existence. He's also just an incredible human being, and the voice of all of the dogs in the game to date. Like, when a dog is going like, "Arr!" That's him. Or a trash can in our case, because our game is weird. And as we started to build the game, like the foundations of, as he's teaching me the basics in Unity, and unknowingly building the foundations of what this game would become, as a joke to myself, I stuck in a public domain stock photo of a Jack Russell Terrier. Now, this is my first time ever working in Engine, just like building stuff with my own hands. Not my first time, but it's my first time taking charge of that process. And I didn't quite know how large the dog is supposed to be in comparison to the human body, or a player. So when I pressed play on this game for the first time, with this photo of a dog stuck in as a joke to myself, the next thing I know, there's an 8-foot tall Jack Russell Terrier towering over me, following me with its face, asking me if I want a ticket to Uranus. And I was like, dang, this is the game I could be making. This is a game that makes me happy just to make it. Am I allowed to make a game that just makes me happy to make it? Is that legal? Can I do that? And the result was, I pivoted. It went from an airport for aliens to an airport for aliens currently run by dogs. And I'm exponentially happier with the game that I'm making as a result. It is deeply ingrained in that same sort of absurdity that you did see in, 3 a.m. Saturday morning cartoons. Well, not Saturday morning. Adult Swim cartoons. That sense of absurdity given surreal life and taking sometimes an intentionally low budget. Like, could we make every single one of these dogs a stock photo? With a certain budget, yes. But it wouldn't be as funny. Those Adult Swim cartoons took limitations that they put on themselves and used it to create legitimate, weird art of the scale and likes that we haven't really seen again. And taking that process and applying it to a video game is something that excited me on every level, creatively, financially. I'm not a rich man by any means, but I can take some photos, some stock photos of dogs, and build a world around them with the assistance of incredible, talented people. And I get the opportunity to do that. And I'm deeply thankful for it. Got a car, says Speed Dog. Neat, how's that going for you? Car crashed. That's bad. How do you feel about that? Gonna get a new car. Is that a good idea? Gonna drive it real fast, says Speed Dog. Gonna drive into a wall. Are you sure you should own a car? Gonna go through the wall. I am fast and the wall is slow. I cannot fail. Oh my lord, you should not own a car, or more power to you, I guess. I'm legitimately stuck on which one I should say to this dog. More power to you, I guess. I like cars, says Speed Dog. We completed our flight. We land at our airport. Let's hope it's the right airport. It is! We successfully traveled across the universe on a round trip. I know where the... Let's see, let's jump into the pool. Teeth Mango, earlier you asked, can I describe Vaporwave in my own words? I already did. Using a dog. Is that... That store is stuck into a wall. As is that store. Nope. Nope, that store has a little bit of clearance. Is the distortion of the water making me think I've made a mistake? Can I blame it on the water? Nope. That is straight up a store stuck at... It's borderline. It's borderline. I gotta move it further away. Anyway. I already did describe Vaporwave in my own words using a dog. So, we'll go talk to Claudia, the cousin of Claudio, who is the information dog we talked to at Phobos, and we're gonna learn what Vaporwave is. It's one of my favorite exchanges in the game. This is not an information kiosk. What is that word? What is that word? I can turn off my cursor to see the word better. What is that word? Center. Information center. Fantastic. Yes. That is what that is. Let's talk to Claudia. Welcome to Beachwell Airport. I'm Claudia, and yes, this airport is very vaporwave. Please don't ask any further questions about it. What's a vaporwave? We asked Claudia. Okay, I guess we're doing this, says Claudia. You know, sometimes you feel like learning how to juggle and studying classical architecture and maybe starting an electronic band named Welcome Wagon. And a few minutes later, you're like, man, I'm really glad I only did one of those three things. For some people, that moment where they realize they almost made several bad decisions comes 12 years from now, after they made several bad decisions. That's Vaporwave. Let us never speak of it again. Anything else I can help you with? We can continue to ask her about Vaporwave, but we're going to respect her wishes and not talk about it. Have a great day then. I'm always here if you need something else. I of course kid. I think Vaporwave is a rad aesthetic and a really cool principle in general. Let's resurrect the past, but also add some marble statues in there for some reason. So, really what I'm saying is, Vaporwave is rad. Let's make fun of it, but still do it. Which sums up a lot of my career, actually. If we go far enough on this airport, let's see. Part of this, I'm kind of wondering if we can pull this off. Because if we can talk to who we're about to meet, and get an illegal bone and bring it back to the definitely a dog. Not gonna say otherwise because snitches get scritches. If we can do that, and she remembers that we've talked to her before, and we give her the bone and we complete the quest, like a core thing we've wanted to bring to life in the game for months, like it just works. Like that's really exciting. Like, we've already been doing a lot of exciting stuff, but here's yet another exciting thing on a plate of exciting things. Like, a buffet of exciting things. And thanks for asking, Teef Mango. I appreciate you. I'm glad that the thoughtful answer... Teef Mango says, thanks for your thoughtful answer. I'm glad that you asked. And I appreciate the kind words. This game would not work unless it were deeply intentional at every single level. A lot of times making a game, you can get away with, we'll just hand wave that. Because this game is so absurd, if every single piece of it is not on point, if every single system, every single dog, every single piece of the game is not constructed with an intentionality behind it, the entire thing falls apart. Because this is a game made of stock photos, right? Like, making sure that when people play it, when they wishlist it on Steam, which is a thing you can do now, that they don't feel like cheated out of their money, that they feel like not only is this game funny, but it's got depth and it's got all of this and all of that. It's got depth and emotional nuance, and it's a world that I would want to spend dozens of hours in as an open world comedy adventure. Everything has to work. And it has to hit hard. So, unlike even some of the projects I've worked on before, like, I'm in general a very intentional creator, but for Dog Airport, I've had to grow up in a lot of ways. Sometimes I'll start working on the game in the morning and I'll be like, oh, this conversation I'm writing, turns out the reason I have difficulty thanking people sometimes is because I feel like I owe them something if I thank them for the thing that they've done. And the feeling of owing someone something comes with a sense of vulnerability. That scares me. Like, that's a really absurd train of thought, but, like, I then have to deal with my stuff before I move back to making the game. Because if I'm not emotionally honest and vulnerable and intentional at these, and even my personal life, I can't bring this world to life effectively. I've never had to work on a game where I had to become a better person to make it, but that's a really exciting dynamic. And I am every time I work on Dog Airport game, every day that I get to play in this universe, I'm excited. I'm becoming a better person. I'm bringing a genuinely thoughtful world to life, a depth-filled world to life in a very absurd package. And those are my favorite types of packages. Speaking of weird packages, this is David Boney. He is a celebrity, as evidenced from his poster, which you can translate and read. And one of the interesting things about the game is, again, giving you pieces to be able to solve other pieces of it yourself. If you talk to David Boney, he'll read out the poster for you, and you can use his translation of it to assist your own. Rad. Layers upon layers. Let's talk to David Boney, this famous figure, and see what's up with this poster. What's up with his life? How's he doing at 549 in Beachwell Airport? Oh, hi there. I'm just looking at this poster. How's your day been so far? Not too well right now, but I'll be okay. You? I'm doing pretty okay. I'm sorry to hear that you aren't feeling well at the moment. Hope that changes soon. I need to get off-world. Sorry to be abrupt. Beachwell's nice, but it's just a giant beach. There's only one ball, and it's too big to even play with. This is a nightmare for so many reasons. I know this is a big question to ask, and we just met each other, but can you get me a red passport? I'd do it myself, but Photo Dog won't let me inside after I said his glasses looked silly. Wait, you know how to read that poster? I sure can. Just replace the letters and the poster says, "Do not trust this dog." This dog specifically. He cannot be trusted. Please do not trust this dog. Oh man, that isn't very nice at all. Why does this poster say that you can't be trusted? Illegal bones. I've got a bunch of them, and I'm happy to share, but they're illegal, so I'm kind of banned from everything. What's an illegal bone? Oh, that's easy. It's like a regular bone, but illegal. You're a good dog, David Boney. Thank you. We're gonna get David Boney a red passport, which means schmoozing Photo Dog and not telling him what we're doing. He's an immortal photo taker, so I imagine it's hard to sneak anything past him. But let's see if we can do that anyway. Gotta sneeze. Actually, I don't have to sneeze. I love human bodies. Photo Dog says, "Whoa, you look incredible. I would ask to take your picture, but we've all got places to go and cool things to do, man. If you need a red passport, though, you can use my photo booth. All I need is a Mothman record. You know, for a good reason. I've got a Mothman record right here," I say, lying. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm sure you'll get it next time, though. Keep rocking it, buddy. So we gotta find a Mothman record, which, from knowing the world, we can find in a Mothman-themed record shop, which is right here, coincidentally, because this is the Cornucopia, a fantastic shopping location. Originally, because, again, going back to things you learn when you're first working in Unity, first working within the engine, I looked around this. We had built the airport. We built the initial version of the airport. It was all cool, and I was like, okay, you know what? We need more shops. So I'm gonna create a shopping center. I'm gonna have a secret, a gate which leads to nothing at the end of the pier. I'm gonna have surfboards around. This could be a viewing station for that giant beach ball in the distance. I'm gonna have it to where you can meet David Boney. This is a fantastic idea. Great, cool. Problem is, when I started playing the game after we had done this stuff, we had shown the initial version at the No Quarter showcase, and NYU Game Center was very happy. The people who played the game geeked the heck out about it. They a bunch of adventure game developers came by, ended up breaking most of the code within the first 5 minutes of the game because they just immediately jumped on and were all working together to translate the world. It was so cool. And after that showcase, and after we expanded the airport, like a real airport, with like a bridge and everything, we realized that the game was cool when you looked in this direction, in this direction, in this direction. When you looked in this direction, the frame rate went from like around 200 down to like 15. And that's bad. That's really bad for a game, actually. And we just called it the bad direction, and we had to figure out what the heck was going on. And, yeah, this used to be the bad direction, and now it's not. Now it runs at a stable frame rate. There's a whole story about how we fixed that, but dang, making games is a complicated process. I just wanted to make my weird comedy thing about dogs, and I had to figure out the entire graphics rendering pipeline for Unity. Love it. There's a moth. There's a moth. There's a moth. These are all actually historical pictures of moths taken from the Met Museum collection. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, I believe, is what it's known as. And they recently made all of the resources, all of their sculptures, all of their paintings, pictures, images, including like photos from their collection of Surat and so on. These high-resolution pieces of history. They made that free to the public. It's open public domain now. So now that's how we represent the Mothman in the game. If you're familiar with the Mothman, he is a figure of folklore, an urban cryptid fiction, a mythological creature. Sometimes people say that he eats people. Sometimes people say that he steals souls. Sometimes people say that he has a really hot butt. There's, I think, a statue of him in Vermont where he just has a chiseled... He's a humanoid man, and he's standing like this, like a superhero. He has his moth wings out, and he has arms like this, and he's got this finely sculpted butt. Like, incredibly detailed compared to even the rest of the sculpture. And it makes you think. Anyway, let's talk to this anxious dog and get a Mothman record. Help out David Boney. Listen. I'll do anything you ask. Just don't tell my boss that I peed on the headphone tree. Your secret is safe with me. In that case, says anxious dog, at puppy school I cheated on the obedience test. When I was 11 I stole a fire truck. I have 7 false passports and a squeaky toy in my closet ready to go if the law catches up with me. Sometimes I fart when I'm talking to a customer and I don't say excuse me because I'm hoping they didn't notice, but I was really loud, so they'd absolutely notice, and there's a hitch in conversation where we're both forced to acknowledge that I'm a coward who pretends not to have a butt to save myself 0.2 seconds of embarrassing confession. I'm not sure I love my wife anymore. Also, I'm a dog. I think that last one is a biggie, to be honest. You can stop telling me your secrets. Anxious dog. Oh, that was it, says anxious dog. I have no more secrets. I am cleansed. I am invincible. If we manage to keep those secrets safe, no one will figure out that I'm a dog. Happy I can help. What I love about that line, I'm not sure I love my wife anymore, is especially when you're showing it in public, like whether it was at PAX or in New York for that No Quarter event, or any of the other places Dog Airport game has gone now. I call it Airport for Aliens, currently run by dogs, Dog Airport game, because I'm tired, and saying the full name of my game every time I need to refer to it would kill me. That line, I'm not sure I love my wife anymore, when you show that game in public and when couples play the game, you will occasionally see, you'll see one of two reactions. You'll see horror, or they'll laugh really uncomfortably hard and then pretend like nothing happened. So there was one time, there was a kid talking to this, anxious dog who was like, I cheated on my obedience test, and the kid was laughing. And they got to the line, the parents of this kid got to the line, I'm not sure I love my wife anymore. And they just both simultaneously laughed so hard. Like, and then just went back to watching their kid. Just like, nothing had happened. And I looked at them and I was like, are we just not going to acknowledge the deep relatability you found with that statement? Are we not going to talk about that? Okay. It's a line that looks into your soul, is what I'm saying. And every person will identify with it in their own way. You wanted an album? Yes, I did. Absolutely. Moth me, we say to Anxious Dog. He says, fantastic. Mothman appreciates your support. And we've got a Mothman vinyl now. I don't know what it says on there. Yeah, I don't know at all. But that's something you can translate when you play the game, when it comes out, which I don't know when that will be. Why did I throw that? I need it. So, do we know what species our character is, says Teeth Mango. Yes, you are one of the last two human beings in the universe. I played the demo and managed to board 2 separate planes in different areas of the airport, says Teeth Mango. Both times I was put back in the beach airport. Was that just because it was the demo, or are the destinations random? So, in the full game, every airport that you can get a ticket to is a physical location you can visit. Right now, we've got 2 airports, one of which is newly added, which is Phobos. So, to answer your question, because it's the demo, and because it's a current work-in-progress version that's available to press and to patrons on Patreon, you can also get in your dog via Patreon. Like some of the dogs you've seen around the airports and on the planes, and like the cat you saw on Phobos, those are from patrons. It's rad. I love doing it. But yeah, those are the only 2 airports in the game physically right now. But in the final version, you can travel the universe, and all of those are contiguous places, and you can do this big ongoing road trip journey. So the destinations will not be random. It is simply because we are limited by time, space, and mortality that you are only experiencing the glory of 2 airports right now. What is the connection between Mothman and Vaporwave, says Teeth Mango? There is no connection that I know of. There's only a Vaporwave Beach airport, because I had a really good idea for an airport that had a platform where you get all your tickets, and then you jump down into a pool to access the rest of it, and it would be on a beach. Only one airport is Vaporwave. The rest of the airports aren't Vaporwave, or at least aren't currently Vaporwave. I just thought that was a really good aesthetic for an airport. So having actually a unique theme and soundtrack and vibe for each airport is really important to me, much like the airplanes, which is why you have, for every different type of airplane, you get a different type of track. You'll know all of them represent, hey, we're on an airport having a good time, you caught your flight, congratulations, but each one you'll have a different dynamic with, is the hope. And it seems that that's already happening, so I'm really happy about that. It is so good to see you again, my gorgeous buddy friend, says Photodog. How are you? I've got the Mothman record you wanted, dude. Oh, awesome! I will put this too. Very good use. I don't like how suspicious Photodog is when he says that, which means I'm absolutely going to keep it in the game, because it's fantastic. Enjoy the passport photos. Shine, baby. Huh. That's the first time I've seen that happen, but I actually know exactly why it does happen. In the game, when you complete this objective, we're supposed to pull this curtain aside, and I'm changing the on the code end. What we're doing is called a lerp. We're taking a object between 2 destinations gradually. but it's going on the x-axis, I believe, and it's going to, if you're visiting a shop from this direction, it'd be going to the left. But because this is the first time I think I've visited a photo dog location, that's a rotated store. So coming in, actually that translation to the left would take it to the right, which is weird. I'm glad we found this together. However, I can't enter the photo booth by scooching by, so no harm, no foul. We've got a cool fancy camera in here. Let's take a picture. That mouth noise where we go like cheek, 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 cheek. That's also Tom Vanita. I'm glad I work with Tom Vanita. Let's see. We've got a passport. We can bring this back to David Boney now. Help him get off world. Oh, hello again. Did you bring a red passport for me, or did you just want to chat? This should be the passport you need, buddy. Oh, wow, says David Boney. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You just changed my life. If you'd like an illegal bone, please let me know. I'm happy to share. I hope we see each other again. The dog's happy, because we did a thing for him. And I'm happy I did a thing for the dog. We're both happy right now. Let's get one of those illegal bones for the cat, which is extorting us, threatening us, blackmailing us. They're on a different planet, but I'm still scared of them, is what I'm saying. Welcome back. I haven't quite left Beachwell yet. Anything I can do for you? I need bones. I need bones. I know exactly what you were talking about. If anyone asks, the bone was legal when you found it. So we've got an illegal bone now. I don't know if it's a human bone or anything else, but it is illegal. So if in a later version of the game we are caught with it, Cop Dog will confiscate all of our items and say you sly dog, and just slowly go through the floor or go into the sky. I like the game we're making. So let's dispense these. Get some squeaky salami, some other pieces of soda, purely to fill up our inventory so we don't accidentally throw the illegal bone into the ocean. And let's get a flight back to Phobos. See if we can complete that quest. Also, we can just talk to a Badakshri. Let's see what this Badakshri has to say. I keep thinking about the Mothman. Me too, buddy. It's taking a while for... There we go. I love how emerging from the water aligned with that beat in the soundtrack. Gosh, I love this game. Phobos, Phobos, Phobos. There's several flights to Phobos. Yes, please. I need a boarding pass to Phobos. That is gate A2. A1 through A3 are all that way, so we can just hop on this elevator and take it down. This is the slow elevator. I take the slow elevator. Let's just hop off. And it's taking us about as much time to float down as it is to just take the elevator. Should have just taken the elevator in hindsight. Hmm. 607. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. We got a flight that's already taken off. If we go to A2, I guarantee you the flight will have already taken off, because we got a last-minute ticket. Dang. Hubris. Did we get a last-minute ticket? Is this not gonna work? Yeah. It's still going to Phobos, but it's only going at 6:36. Oh, I could use my old ticket to board the new flight. That is fortunate for me, but it's also a bug, so I'm gonna have to fix it. Give me money. Says Bribe Dog. That's not me talking, at least right now. But Bribe Dog says, give me money. I don't have anything funny or interesting to say or any witty hints, just give me money. Give me your money. I'm Bribe Dog. Give me money, please. Thank you. I don't have any money right now. Well, that sounds like a you problem. Man, Bribe Dog has had enough. Bribe Dog is blunt, and Bribe Dog does not care. He wants your money. Give him your money. Let's see. Let's throw away a couple of these things in the garbage can. And we just passed an ATM, so giving him money should not be a problem. And because I know where the ATMs are in this airport, I'm not worried. I'm just grabbing some money. Yes, those are airplanes stuck in the dunes very far away. Because that's how this game works. Let's see. Hop onto this people mover. Hop back off of it. Whoop. And... Hey, friend. I hope you have my money. We do have the money, so we can go to another planet. Yes! Yes! Government corruption works. I'm Bribe Dog and I have no guilt, baby! We're teaching him bad lessons. I feel bad. We're complicit. We are all complicit. Taking the teleporter to our plane. This is the first time I've heard this song working in the game. Yeah, I dig this. I'm into this. This is a sleepy pup. How are you? I'm sleeping. Sorry to bother you then. No bother. Just gonna keep sleeping. How long have you been sleeping? Been sleeping for around 194.23 hours now, says Sleepy Pup. I do not plan to stop. Good luck. I will use my power responsibly. Good night, my sleep-interrupting friend. I'm just gonna listen to this track for a little bit. I don't remember it. I don't think I've listened to this one much. I like that a lot. And we're back on Phobos. We've got an illegal bone, so we return to the Definitely a Dog, and if all has gone well, we will complete the quest. Do you have plans on making the Mothman or any other cryptids canon in the game? Says Teeth Mango. Well, depends on what you mean by canon. If you mean, does the Mothman exist? That is a question that every person has to decide in their own heart. If you're saying that will there be like, can you like meet the Mothman? I don't think you'll meet the Mothman, but you'll definitely hear of the Mothman's legend among other figures, and basically see how that affects your view of the world. Like, how would you react if you knew that, you know, there was a moth going around who's also a man? Probably mess you up a bit. Let's go definitely a dog. Okay, so definitely a dog does not remember me, which is a bug. Well, not a bug, but that means that there's something to account for. However, we do have an illegal bone and we can complete this quest, which means we're in a good place. Dogs come in many shapes and sizes. I happen to purr. Nature works in mysterious ways, says definitely a dog. We're going to convince definitely a dog to confess that they are a cat, but not really, because there's no way this cat is going to let us gain any ground, really. And we're going to complete the quest. We done did it. I'm really excited for this. Also, why are all the pilots drunk, says Teeth Mango. Because they have to bear witness. It turns out, being a very tiny pup, sitting in a very large plane, going through the eternity of the cosmos itself, will make it hard to just deal with reality. So I'm not saying I gave a dog PTSD, but they definitely get drunk to bear with the weight of reality, and I cannot blame them. They're a tiny pup. Their bodies are so small, and the universe is so large. It's the equivalent of, like, if your dog gets scared sitting in a what's a good comparison? If your dog gets scared sitting in the car because there's so much movement, it's like so much like, imagine being exposed to the awesome power of space itself. That's a lot. That's a lot for anyone to deal with. And I don't begrudge any dog who gets drunk as a result. So, Culture Tannen says, how do you imagine players playing the game in one sitting or shorter bursts? I would say it depends, because we already have so many different play styles for the game. It generally depends on the player. As you can see, there's only 2 airports in the game and a few quests, and we've been like journeying around, meaningfully doing stuff for over an hour and a half, and I've barely scratched the surface of a bunch of stuff you can do in the game and a bunch of the characters you meet and so on. So, being able to wait in real time for your flight, that's what we're working towards. Like, if you want to do a speed run, where if your flight is in 8 hours, you gotta wait until 45 minutes before your gate time, and then go to your gate and find out what the dogs need, and then take your flight. I want that to be possible, and it's already, in many ways, as you can see, and as we've played through here, that kind of stuff and those kinds of ways of relating to time into the airports is already happening. If, on the other hand, not gonna throw away my illegal bone, I'd have to travel back to a different planet to get another one. If, on the other hand, someone wants to come in, journey around for a little bit, talk to a couple of dogs, pet a few, and then hop back out, you can, by like going back to a hospital and activating their save point. There's allowances for that as well. A big part of my desire for making the game was to make it so that people like members of my own family, not the biggest gamers, haven't really played much aside from Tetris. You can walk at your own pace and catch your flight and generally just have a chill, relaxed time, or if you are trying to binge it, if you're trying to do interesting things that involve spending a lot of time in this world and being a part of it, including like translating the language and finding the secrets, there's a human skull in this game. I'm not going to tell you where, but we passed it several times, and you can use that to open up a gate that leads you to a cemetery area where the dogs have buried their fallen chew toys, and all the dogs are named Pagothstrians, because they're dog goths. Like, that's just stuff in this game and in this world that you never have to engage with if that doesn't fit your playstyle. So yeah, really giving the player a lot of freedom to define how they want to interact with this world is how I imagine and would hope that people relate to it. And since people are already doing that in the versions of the game that I'm making available via Patreon, I think we're on the right track. I'm really excited. Sorry, but I'm nearly certain that you are a cat. Nope. But you're definitely a cat, though. Nah, probably not. Probably not? Let's say I play along. Why would it matter if I'm a cat? The cat has demanded an illegal bone, and we're gonna get her what she needs. See? Only a dog would take an illegal bone and just chew on it instead of seeking out more lucrative environments. This cat is definitely involved in organized crime. It is even more suspicious than when I wrote the line. Holy crap. Woof. Bark. Ah, excuse me. That's a ball of yarn. That's straight up a ball of yarn rolling out of the frame. Anyway, you're pretty cool. Me and my friends have a hideout elsewhere. If you continue to be a cool dude who's good at not asking questions, like a cool person, I think you'd fit right in. So, the cat vomited up a ball of yarn, which bounces a little bit, and which we can play with. But we aren't cats. We're human. So, we're not going to worry about this. I'm playing with the ball of yarn. It's really good. If we need a ball of yarn, we can also go to her and get it. It's just... we worked hard for that ball of yarn, you know? We were threatened. And we came out the other side. Yeah, we did what the cat who works in organized crime wanted us to do. But wouldn't anyone? As you can see, like, all the stores we're passing and so on. Stores have closed, stores have opened. These worlds are living! I love it. Let's see. 6:22. So we're actually about to see another flight cycle over in real time. There's only one flight going to Beachwell, so let's see what that 6:25 flight, we can actually advance time and see where it goes instead. See if it gives us another option for going back to Beachwell. Let's pet the vending machine for good luck with a ghost hand and then a regular hand. Drink the Scarlet Bovine. It's now 6:27. What do you know? Now that flight that was at 6:25, it's now 6:48. Still goes to Marinara Trench because Beachwell ain't getting no love, but time. We're making time. I clicked that once, clicked it twice, clicked it 3 times. Yeah, well, Let's skip to, let's say, 8. All of them go to Marinara Trench now. Let's go to 8:53. Yes, we got 3 Beachwell flights now. Manipulating time has no consequences, as we have just learned. To cap off the stream, I want to show one of my favorite characters in the game, who also occupies this exact airport, coincidentally. Yeah, we're gonna be looping this stream and also, you know, doing some other cool content throughout the weekend, including building a large plane. So wishlist this on Steam. Look out for that. And for everyone who's been watching and asking questions and following the game already, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. This is the hospital. As you can see, we've got a glowing health symbol over there. And a really cool dog. Dr. Dog MD. Dr. Dog MD has a picture of Mothman on his wall instead of a medical degree. I'm not going to question it, not going to think too hard about it, and not going to get suspicious. Just going to live with that knowledge. Let's talk to Dr. Dog. Oh, hey, I'm a dog. If you're horribly injured, deathly sick, or just a little under the weather, I'll be giving you medical attention. You alright with that? I love when dogs give me medical attention, we say. Settle down, buddy, says Dr. Dog MD. The D stands for dog. I save lives here. If you hit a point where you'd like a save, I'd be happy to help as soon as I figure out how to do that. So what you need today? Can I get some medicine? Sure thing. How sick are you feeling on a scale from 1 to 8 extremely large bottles of pills? 8? You sound very sick. It is likely that I'm being used. Need anything else? Just saying hello before I get back to traveling. I appreciate it. Come back anytime. So now we've just got a bunch of pills. There's a pill dog in the game who does need you to get pills. It's not an addiction. He can stop anytime he wants. Yeah, I don't like what I said about that. Oh man, some of my favorite dogs in the same place. We've got here a sign. And a guy named Jimmy Donuts. He sells donuts. He's a chocolate lab who sells you chocolate donuts, even though chocolate donuts are deeply toxic to dogs. He's an enigma wrapped in a mystery, and I love him. On the other hand, we've also got Dog with a Problem. So let's talk to this dog and figure out what the problem is. Hello there. How'd you feel about buying an orphanage? Minus the orphans. To be clear, I'm absolutely not attempting to sell you orphans. As you know from real life, if someone says, I'm not attempting to sell you orphans, they aren't trying to sell you orphans. It's just science. I'm gonna need a little more context, dog with a problem. Well, I built a bunch of orphanages, but then I realized that orphans don't exist anymore. So, yeah. I'm happy for the orphans, really. It's just I got so many orphanages now, you know? What did you do with the orphans? I didn't do anything. The orphans were here and now they're gone. Deeply suspicious dog we're interacting with right now. I mean, everyone deserves a home filled with folks who love and care for them. So we make sure every puppy gets one, especially if it's not the place where they were born. It's the way things should work. It just means that as someone wants to be a good person and also a dog, I can't build some orphanages and call it a day. I built 1,714 orphanages in a universe where orphans aren't a thing anymore because I'm a massive dum-dum. You were not a massive dum-dum, or, I mean, yeah, but at least you had good intentions. I'm not gonna let Dog with a Problem off the hook. He's a massive dum-dum. He should not have built 1,714 orphanages. Oh yeah, I was gonna take in adorable little pups, help older, lovable, hard cases find their way. It was gonna be a whole thing. So, let me know if you want to take one of these orphanages off my paws, okay? I need this. Yeah. Let's talk to Dog with a Problem. Oh shoot, I didn't take in orphanages. Orphanage. There's currently a bug that says if you try to, so I fixed this, but it's not in the build yet. My code assumed that everyone who talked to Dog with an orphanage would probably end up with an orphanage at some point. So it never made allowances for if you talked to the dog who tries to sell you orphanages, minus the orphans, and just got the hell away. But this is a good time to return to Beachwell using a secret dev shortcut, and thank you all for watching. I look forward to your adventures with Dog with a Problem, the ways you will solve David Boney, and the ways you will both maintain a relationship and catch flights across the universe on your own time, at your own pace, petting as many garbage cans as you feel is necessary along the way. I've been Zelda Nelson Jr. I'm the director and developer of the game. This has been a stream of gameplay of an airport for aliens currently run by dogs for LudoNarraCon. Thank you so much for watching. And if you liked what you saw, wishlist it on Steam. It takes 2 seconds and it really helps. Also, we're on Patreon and you can find me on Twitter at WRATNelson and follow the development of the game on there because I post a whole lot of stupid stuff about the game because I love it and it's a stupid game. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, 'tis the season for LudoNarraCon. Enjoy the streams that folks are doing. Check out some of the other fantastic games featured in the showcase. And have a wonderful day. See ya. You do talk to Dr. Dog, MD, to save your progress, Teef Mango. Thanks for asking about that before we leave. It's going to be in the final game. It's going to be rad to save your game via talking to a dog. Can't wait for it. Bye.